Hey y'all, it's Shanda here with another Therapy Thursday. So today I want to ask you, do you remember? Um, do you remember a time in your life when things were so good? You felt fulfilled. There was genuine joy and happiness. Maybe you felt connected and you were part of a community or relationship that really helped you understand who you were and all you brought to the world. Do you remember that? Do you remember a time in your life when things got rough? I'm talking, you felt disconnected. You felt like you were alone and isolated. You did not have a good sense of self. Things seemed to be crumbling all around you. Do you remember? The interesting thing about it is you might have remembered multiple situations that fell in both of those categories, but the intensity of the emotion behind those memories have probably started to dwindle over time. So I am proposing that we take advantage of the stability and the wisdom and the joy that we experience when we're having good times. That good time could be an hour, it could be a day, it could be a season. But during those times, we are able to look at the world from a very different perspective than we can when things are the opposite. So when I am feeling good, when I'm having a good season, I can look at the light, I can look at life and it can feel abundant. I can recognize that there is an abundance of energy, time, money, resources, relationships. I can feel secure in my call and my purpose in life, all those things. The next week, something can happen that shatters or at least splinters that for us. And so we when we look at the world, we don't see it as abundant as we did the week before. So what would happen if we, myself included, committed to leaving a legacy for ourselves during those good times? There have been a few things been happening, life been lifing in my world, and it has been challenging on some occasions to think in abundance, to feel sturdy and secure. Good thing for me, I have hundreds of videos where I can go back and look at myself and take the wisdom that I'm giving and apply it in that moment. The good thing is I trust me. I know that I'm many things, but I'm not a liar. So the things that I say in those videos, they are real, they are genuine, they are true. And when I can't muster that for myself, I can go back and I can look at some of the videos I've done and be like, oh, that's a word right there. That's good, right? So I'm able to do that for myself, but you can too. Voice notes, journaling, videos, right? Leave messages for yourself when you are flying the highs of life so that when you get to the lows, you can hear yourself giving the wisdom that you yourself were living through. You don't need me to tell you about the highs of my life and the wisdom that I have when you can leave those for yourself as well. The other thing is, when things get tough, sometimes when I look around my present reality and I be like, ooh, this is challenging. Sometimes I do this thing where I go back and I look at pictures. And when my girls were first born, the 5 of us lived in a 2-bedroom apartment. If you count the 2.5 months my mother stayed with us, 6 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. And as our children grew and their stuff grew, we started to really bust at the seams. And when I go back and look at the pictures from this time, a few things stand out to me. Oh my God, my kids are so cute. Like, I look at how small and young all 3 of them were, and the joys and the simple things that the simple things that brought them joy. But I'm also able to be like, my goodness, it was some really, really rough times back then. And we made it. And we made it making less money than we make now. We made it having not nearly as many connected, resourceful relationships as we have now. My nervous system was not nearly as sturdy then as it is now. I have so much more understanding and wisdom now. If I made it then with the limited resources that I had, oh my goodness, how much more can that help me realize that we can make it now as well? So I just wanted to leave that encouragement. Please keep watching my videos. Please keep connecting to other people who are out there giving inspiration and wisdom. But it's not just us. You have wisdom as well, and you can share it with yourself. Just don't try to muster that when you're experiencing the lows. It's really hard to access that. So do what you got to do, but leave those messages for yourself. If you want to reach out to me, you can find me at www.thelaborsoflove.com. All the major social media outlets, we on there, y'all. Don't forget, if you haven't already, to give us that 5-star rating and write a review. Share the podcast with your loved ones and friends. Until we connect again, be well.